Hello everybody, and thank you so much for watching. For this pretty little finger sleeve, you can use any small hook and any small yarn that you have. Use the size that you feel comfortable with. I have a 1mm hook here and super fine yarn. I made the light blue, the pink one and the red one with a 1mm hook and super fine yarn, and the darker blue and the brown color with a 2mm hook and fine yarn. And I want to give a special shout out to Sandy Dandy Adams. She suggested this video. Thank you very much. Let's start with a slip knot, and then we can make an even amount of chains. I will chain 24. You can make the sleeve for any of your fingers. Once you have your chain, wrap it around the widest part of your finger to make sure it fits, and it should be a little bit shorter, a couple of millimeters or 1/8 of an inch shorter, because it will stretch later on. This looks like a good fit. It's a little bit shorter. Now we can close the chain to a ring. Go back to the beginning of your chain, make sure it's not twisted, then turn it on its head and go into the first chain, and I will go into the bottom loop of the chain and make a slip stitch. Here's the bottom loop. I have 2 pieces of yarn of the first chain on my hook, and we can make a slip stitch to the first chain and the loop on the hook and start round 1. Round 1 is the first round of a 3-round pattern repeat. Let's chain 1 and go back into the first chain where we just made the slip stitch. Right here into the bottom loop again. And we can make a single crochet. And now we can single crochet into each of the chains. I go into the next bottom loop of the next chain and make a single crochet. And single crochet into the next bottom loop of the next chain. I made 24 chains, so at the end of the round I will have 24 single crochet. I have 1 more single crochet right into the 24th chain. Now we can finish this round with a slip stitch into the first single crochet. Here's the chain that we made. Next to it is the first single crochet, slip stitch into the first single crochet, and we can start round 2. I will try my band on and see if it fits. It looks good, so I continue with round 2. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3 for the first double, then go into the next single crochet, front loop, back loop, go only into the back loop and make a double crochet. So we double crochet into all of our back loops. Next single crochet, front loop, back loop, only go into the back loop and make a double crochet. And we will have the same amount of doubles as we had singles and chains, so I will have 24 doubles at the end of this round, including with the chain of 3 that I made in the beginning. Let's take a look. We have a nice little line because we crocheted into all of our back loops. I'm making my last double crochet into the back loop of the last single crochet below. And now we can make a slip stitch into the 3rd chain. Let's take a look. 1, 2, 3. Here's the 3rd chain. I go into the left loop of the 3rd chain and make my slip stitch into that. And we can start round 3. Chain 3 for the double crochet, and then 1 more chain for the chain space. Skip over the next double crochet, the 2nd double crochet, and go into the 3rd double crochet through both loops, the front and the back loop, and make a double crochet. And chain 1. So in this round, we skip 1. Double crochet into the next double and chain 1, and we do that all the way around. Skip 1, double crochet and chain 1. We can make our double crochet, skip 1, chain 1 all the way around, and then we have 1, 2, 3 more doubles left. Skip the first double, go into the 2nd one and make a double crochet, chain 1, skip over the last double crochet and slip stitch into the 3rd chain, and we can start round 4, which is the same as round 1, so our 3-round pattern repeat starts over. Chain 1 and single crochet into the 3rd chain and single crochet into the chain space. So we will single crochet into all of our doubles and into all of our chain spaces, into the double and into the chain space. At the end of the round, we will have the same amount of single crochet that we had in round 1. I will have 24 single crochet. Our last single crochet goes into the last chain space. Then we can skip over the chain and slip stitch into the first single crochet and start round 5, which is the same as round 2. Chain 3, and then we can double crochet into all of our back loops. Go into the back loop of the next single crochet and double crochet into that. Double crochet into all of the back loops, and we have the same amount of doubles again that we had single crochet. I will have 24 double crochet at the end of this round. We can finish this round with a double crochet into the back loop of the last single crochet. Then we can slip stitch into the third chain. 1, 2, 3, and start round 6. It's the same as round 3. Chain 3 for the double crochet, chain 1, and skip 1. Double crochet into the next double, chain 1, and skip 1, and so on. Double crochet, chain 1, skip 1. We can finish this round, chain 1 and skip the last double crochet and slip stitch into the third chain, and we can start round 7, and it's the first round of our 3-round pattern repeat again. It's the same as round 1 and round 4. Chain 1, single crochet into the third chain, and single crochet into the chain space. Single crochet into all of the double crochet and into all of the chain spaces. I will have my 24 single crochet again at the end of this round. Now if you like, you can make round 8 again. It's the same as round 5 and so on. You can also switch up the rounds. They don't have to be in this order if you like. Now this is my second to last round. I made my single crochet into the chain space and I will finish it off with a slip stitch. I skip over the chain and slip stitch into the single crochet, and I make my last round this way. I chain 1 and then I single crochet into the back loop of that first single crochet. So we basically go all the way around and single crochet into all of the back loops, and I will have 24 single crochet again crocheted into the back loop. And as I mentioned before, you can make as many rounds as you like and even switch them up. It's totally up to you. You can design your own pattern. Let me show you how I finished my last round. With an invisible join, I cut my yarn and pull the loop out of the last single crochet and thread a needle. Now the invisible join is nice because it gives you a nice finished look. Skip over the first single, go into the second single through both loops from the front to the back, then top down into the last single crochet you made, into that back loop and that little back bump. If you take a look at that loop, that replaces our first single crochet, so our stitch count is still correct. And now you can sew in your loose end towards the left, and I will sew in my other loose end as well. Our little finger sleeve is complete. I hope you enjoyed making it, and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.